Coming up on America's Horse, the competition gets tough as youth from around the world gather in Fort Worth. Call your friends. It's the 2007 Ford AQHYA World Championship Show next.
America's Horse, the international report on the world's most versatile equine breed, the American Quarter Horse.
Welcome to the John Justin Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. An exciting time in the old cow town as the best of the AQHYA comes calling. Hi everybody, I'm Jeff Metters, with me Pete Kyle, AQHA professional horseman. This is the first of two shows from the Ford AQHYA World Championship Show. We'll have team pinning. We'll also make the American Quarter Horse change gears in the working cow horse competition.
Yes, Jeff, it'll be a lot of fun today to watch these kids chase some cows around, which makes the level of competition change quickly as they have that variable with them. Speaking of that, there's over 800 kids from around the world competing in 33 different classes this week here in Fort Worth.
First to work, Dot's Classy Peppy. This is a mare ridden by Kelsey Irby, a daughter of Tangy's Classy Peppy. Got to step out in the spotlight here in Fort Worth. You kind of battle the nerves a little bit. Just hopefully went through a good pregame and are ready to show your horse.
Hey, Jeff, Kelsey's a very veteran here, even though she's a young girl. She's very seasoned here in the cow horse class and been to the youth world several times, and so she's experienced, she knows what to do, and she'll step up here today, and she has a couple of horses here in the finals, and I think she'll do real well with both of them. She's a very seasoned rider, and as you can see, she's just running some real controlled circles right here, and kind of saving her horse a little bit, not trying to take all the air out in these circles, so she'll have a little horse left for the cow horse part, which follows right after the reining there for her.
Nice lead change and a transition into the small, slow circle.
She's riding this young mare in a hackamore here, and she's able to ride with two hands doing that. You'll see some of the other exhibitors will just ride in the bridle with one hand, but a junior horse they can ride with a hackamore in two hands. And Kelsey, again, like I say, is very good rider and very seasoned, and they've got this mare in that hackamore very nice.
You know, Pete, you help some of these youth exhibitors. What's their attitude as the Youth World Show gets closer and they start building toward that big moment?
Oh, I tell you what, it's a lot of fun to come down here to Fort Worth. These kids' enthusiasm and their excitement for this World Show is really a lot of fun. And they build up for it and get a little nervous. And once they get here and get in the arena, though, they just go and show their horse and have a lot of fun with it.
Accelerating into that first sliding stop. So much activity going on around the show. It's kind of hard to get everybody to focus on the horses in the competition, but they managed to pull it all together right at the end.
She's just having a real solid, smooth run here. Didn't quite stay in the ground on that stop as well as she'd like, but had a real smooth, clean turnaround. Trying to step up here and maybe get a little more solid stop, and did right there. The mare kept both those hind feet pushed in the ground that time, didn't bounce out. And here she hesitates, let her horse relax, and then step into that next turnaround and go around 3.5 turns here. Now hesitate again and go down for one more stop.
Kelsey showing a lot of composure in this run.
And finished with a real good stop and back up there. Going to have a nice little score.
The score for Dot's Classy Peppy and Kelsey Irby, 210.5. And here's Just Plain Doing It. Samantha Estel is the rider. This is a gelding by Just Plain Colonel.
As you can see, she's in the roe mal reins here with one hand, and this horse is in the bridle real well, and she's stepping up and going to try and ask for a little more degree of difficulty out of her circles here and try and get a little higher score out of her dry work. Attractive horse going around. Just look at his ears up right there, very alert, and staying right between the range for this young lady. Well, the temperature here in Fort Worth this time of year, extremely hot. How do you
you balance getting enough practice with your horse and not using them up too early.
Yeah, that's a key thing, Jeff. You have to get out and usually warm them up real well, real early, and give those horses plenty of time to warm up, but then be able to catch their air and keep hydrated real well. That's a key thing for both the horse and the riders here at the Youth World Show. She's doing a nice job with her circles here. Had enough speed there to earn a little credit on her circles, and slowing back down, getting control, coming around for those stops now and turns. And the cow horse is really a taxing event on the horses, where they have to do the rein work like this and then come back and work the cow. So you need to make sure you've got your horse saved up with plenty of energy and air, and don't have them too worked out. Very smooth turnaround right there, real clean, real flat and pretty.
Again, very composed, nice. Lets her horse settle.
Yeah, that's it. I was just going to say that. Again, they're doing a very good job, both of these young ladies, waiting right there in the cow horse. They allow you to sit there and be able to let your horse air up a little bit in between these maneuvers and get them relaxed, and then step right into that next maneuver like she's doing. Very good turnarounds.
Final sliding stop.
Got in there, pulled a little bit on the face, but stayed in the ground real well, and should have a nice score there, Jeff.
As you mentioned, a little more aggressive, a little more degree of difficulty. 212 is the score for just plain doing it, and Samantha Estel. Estel has the lead. Kelsey Irby's in second, but she's coming right back on Smokescreen Image.
America's Horse is brought to you by Ford. The best-selling trucks are built Ford tough. Bank of America, the official credit card of AQHA. American Quarter Horse Association. Discover your lifestyle. And by Bear Corporation, makers of quality animal health products.
Welcome back to Fort Worth, Texas. The theme for this year's AQHYA World Championship show: dream it, believe it, and achieve it. And that's what's on the mind of Kylie Knight. Reminick Moonshine is the horse. This is a gelding by Reminick. And when you look at Kylie, she has a great track record here. She was the AQHYA World Champion in this event 2 years ago and finished 6th last year.
Yeah, Kylie's a very seasoned young lady here in the cow horse class, along with the reining, and this horse and her really get along well together. They've a lot of experience, and they just dominated this cow horse event in the prelims, leading both events by a combined total of 11.5 points over the next exhibitor. So they're all here watching Kylie tonight in the finals to see what she can step up and do again.
Last opportunity to compete on this horse as a youth exhibitor, so you know she's very motivated.
Yeah, this is really a nice horse. Just like the kids, these horses have had good background. This horse originally was trained by Todd Bergen, and they bought him from him, and Jason Hirschberger took and showed him at the Open World Show and was reserve world champion there. And like you said, Jeff, she's won the world here on him before, and is a huge threat again this year. And again, very nice set of circles, and just relaxed and doing their job really well right here.
Trying to catch a 212 and a 210.5. Those are the two scores we've seen so far.
And it's important to try and have a good solid run in the reining as you combine that score with the cow horse, and the two scores together add up for your championship. So it's real important here to have as good a score as possible. That'll put you up in there. Jumps into that turnaround and hustles him around real nice. This horse is a very, very big stopper, Jeff, as a whole, yeah, he gets in the ground really deep right there. That's the kind of stop you want. Tugs on him just a little more than she needed to there in that turnaround, but he got around through it real nice and going in here for her final stop. Once again, a real big stop to finish out here with a nice backup.
Well, she had her A game in the prelims. She also carries that over to the finals. New leader, 2:18.5.
Yeah, Jeff, watch this horse run back down and just stop huge in that ground right there, real deep.
Well, that ups the ante a little bit. Kelsey Irby back on her second horse. This is Smokescreen Image, a mare by the Smart Smoke.
Jeff, Kelsey, as we mentioned earlier, is really a seasoned rider. She's always knocking at the door up there in these cow horse classes, and this horse here is very veteran horse for her. They've had a good working time together, and I think that she's going to do real well with this horse.
Well, she's a regular in the top 10. This is her final year to compete at the AQHYA World Championship Show. College waiting for her this fall, and the biggest hurdle for her was kind of getting comfortable with math. She says had a special tutor. She's finally there, ready for the collegiate classroom. She'd like to go out, though, with a bang right here in Fort Worth.
Yeah, everybody's really rooting for her to do well. The last year like this, it's always a lot of fun to try and finish with a big bang. And they're doing really a nice pattern here. Very nice set of first circles, and again, she's adding some degree of difficulty here with that speed. Got her hand forward. This little mare's just going around really nice.
A little more aggressive there in those circles.
A real attractive mare here. All the Smart Smokes have a nice look about them, and a lot of cow. She slowed back down real nice, collected up, and very relaxed, coming around for the stops. They're going to run right up and down the middle of this arena and get that stop way long down there. And that's important to get that approach way long. She did a very nice job right there. Just a real smooth set of turnarounds. Not a lot of speed to it, but very correct and no penalties in it. And it's staying out of trouble is another key part of the pattern here, is not getting any penalties, Jeff, and staying out of trouble and staying clean and showing the strong part of your horse. And so far she's doing that.
You know, and that's a strategy that can pay off for you. Give yourself a chance to win on the fence later on.
That's exactly a combination of both. She had a real strong stop right there, and that was a credit-earning situation. Stepped up a little better turnaround this way. Now go back for one final big stop. And it was very nice stop.
Trying to keep up with Kylie Knight and Reminick Moonshine, who have the lead at 2:18.5. And for Smokescreen Image and Kelsey Irby, not too shabby, 2:14.5. Very much a player when it comes to the cow work. Well, it's been all girls on the leaderboard. How about some boy power? Carter Metcalf is coming up.
It's pretty fun. Since the parade that we have the first day, Saturday, everybody kept passing and looking at me like, "That's she's Brazilian, she's Brazilian." And when I walk in the parade Saturday, I mean, I felt great. Like everybody really excited that I was here and my family's here. So it was pretty like, I kind of look at everything, I can't believe I'm here. But it's really exciting.
Welcome back to the Ford AQHYA World Championship Show, and Joanna Azevedo coming in from Brazil. It is a true world show here, and she's garnered a lot of attention. Second year that she's been up here as we watch Carter Metcalf get set on Harley's My Chick.
Once again, Jeff, here's another veteran cow horse exhibitor. Carter has shown quite a bit and is very seasoned in this and has a nice mare that he's just started showing this year by Smart Chickalina. Carter's a great young man, like all of these kids that are competing. They're a great story. They are very active in all of the other things in life. You know, they're not just into the horses. Carter plays a lot of tennis and lives just right down the road from me, and I have a hard time keeping him out of my tanks. He's up there fishing all the time. So good young man and is really quiet, laid back young man, but takes his horses very serious. He and his mother and father are both professional trainers and both world champions, and an excellent family with a great background.
Reserve world champion in this event in 2005. Lots of girls on the leaderboard. We need to see if some of these guys can kind of crack into that top 5.
Carter's quite capable, and this young mare right here is a very nice mare. Really works the cow well, as we'll see later on. And I look for Carter to step up and really challenge these girls. Completed both set of circles, very nice. Not a great deal of speed, but was real correct right there and going to come down for his stops.
Well, you talked about the family background, Pete. How does the AQHYA prepare you for a career, say, as a professional trainer?
Well, that's an excellent point, Jeff. Just like this, the experience that they get competing against youth from all over, again, not just the USA, but all over the world. And it's quite an experience. These kids get to have a lot of new friends that last them a lifetime. These kids stay in touch with each other for a long, long time, even after they're youth exhibitors. And it gives you that experience of showing against these other kids like that and stepping up into a major competition like this one. And puts all the basics and all the background that you need as a future rider and shower in the older events.
Makes it a little easier to make that step to the AQHA World Championship Show, held every November in Oklahoma City. And for Carter and Harley's My Chick coming out and doing a pretty good job, 2:12.5. Midway point of the working cow horse competition, Reminick Moonshine, Kylie Knight have the lead at 2:18.5. Kelsey Irby on there twice. She's in second with Smokescreen Image. More action coming up as they continue to warm up, but right now it's time for a Farm and Ranch 101 tip from our good friends at Tractor Supply.
Hi, I'm AQHA professional horsewoman Kathy Stoops. When we're faced with making minor repairs, the right tools can make the job much easier. For a broken fence wire, a wire clamp stretches, pulls, and clamps both smooth and twisted wire. Wire pliers are a versatile tool. They can serve as a hammer, staple puller, splicer, and cutter. You might even want to create your own toolkit for fixing tack and other gear. Chicago screws are really handy for headstall and saddle repair. A bundle of leather has pieces of different sizes, and a sewing awl can help repair leather or heavy fabrics.
This tip is brought to you by Tractor Supply, the official farm and ranch improvement partner of AQHA. To find a Tractor Supply store in your area, visit mytscstore.com.
The American Quarter Horse Youth Association boasts over 31,000 members. It also provides a variety of programs for the youth to enjoy the breed, but it also encourages responsibility and leadership. And for one young lady from Amarillo, Texas, the experience has been well worth it. When Jackie Rapp decided she wanted to be president of the world's largest breed association, she had no idea what type of challenges awaited her.
I did not expect it would be this hard. I didn't expect that it would take this much time, would require this much thought, effort, energy. It's definitely been a time commitment, but something that I've looked at as a wonderful experience, even though it has consumed a lot of time.
Her life with the American Quarter Horse began with a gift from her grandfather. Grasshopper showed her what life could be with a horse, and her fondest memories come from the time she has spent with family.
We played games when we would each ride the horses. She had a horse named Outlaw when I was riding Grasshopper, and we'd chase each other. We'd play cops and robbers, chase each other on the horses out in the pasture, and as I said, fell off a few times, but great memories. Absolutely the best memories.
Horses have always played a part in Jackie's life.
Quarter horses are amazing. I don't know what my life would be like without them. I honestly cannot imagine how empty it would be. It's something that it's been a sport and it's been a hobby, but it's also been such a passion and just a part of me. To anybody who doesn't have a quarter horse or who isn't as involved, I would definitely say to get involved. Get involved, get that quarter horse. It's a bond and a friendship, and seriously, the best thing you could ever do.
This past year, her role as AQHYA president has taken more time than she thought. The rewards, however, have been worth it.
It's been a learning experience, but just getting to meet the kids from different parts of the country, different areas in the world, and just knowing that we all have a very common love for horses, and it's how we all get along.
This is Jackie's last year with AQHYA. Beginning this fall, she'll be a bright-eyed freshman at the University of Texas, where she plans to major in broadcast journalism. For now, that means no more shows and no more horses.
It's been a family thing. It's been wonderful. I just don't know how tough it's going to be, because every weekend, Mom, Dad, Jenna, Jackie, whole Rapp family, we've all traveled together and done these horse shows, and next year it's going to be different. Definitely, not only will I not be showing horses, but that family, I'm losing everything. It's going to be tough.
After her time in college, the American Quarter Horse will once again be a part of her life.
When I'm with my horse, it's a time when I don't have to think about anything else. I don't have to think about the pressures or time deadlines or anything like that. It's just a time when I can spend just thinking about my horse. It's so peaceful, so peaceful. It's therapeutic. I would recommend it to anybody who has a lot on their plate and a lot of stress in their life. It's very good.
Her advice for Colin Luba, this year's president?
Enjoy it. Don't plan ahead and think about the things in the future. Enjoy the minute. Enjoy what's happening. Enjoy the friendships. Take the time to make the calls, send the text messages, and have those relationships with the people that are in the association. It flies by. Golly, I can't believe it's already been a year.
When we return, it's wild, crazy, and fun. Fasten your seatbelt. It's time for team pinning. Welcome back to Fort Worth, Texas, in the Ford AQHYA World Championship Show. Jeff Metters along with Pete Kyle, and we saw the precision that's involved in reining in the working cow horse competition. Now to team pinning, and that's probably best described as controlled chaos, but sometimes it's just chaos.
It's got to happen fast for these kids. You have 3 different kids trying to get 3 cows out of a herd, take them down to a corral, and put them in it in the fastest time possible. In the prelims, there were only 3 teams that were able to pin all 3 cows. So that tells you how difficult it really is, Jeff.
And this year, that preliminary time, very important because it carries over to the finals to help determine our AQHYA World Champions. Well, the first team is Cindy Free, Tristan McCormick, and Jordan Bird. And what you're going to notice about them is they're very youngsters. We'll see how well they handle the pressure.
This class is just really a lot of fun to watch, Jeff. I mean, everybody gets to holler and scream, and you've got to cut 3 cows, as you heard as he went down there. They were hollering the number out, and so they had to go and get that number 9. There's 3 cows in that group with that number 9. They have to cut them out. As you can see, that number 4 ran in there, and they've got to get it out. And now she's going to hold that 9. Did a nice job. Then they're going to cut those 3 out, try and take them up to the far end where that little corral was that you saw, and put them in there. And they're doing a good job here. There you go. He's got that one out, sending them down there again. One more now, and then they'll be able to come up there and pin them. And it's a lot of fun right here, I'll tell you. Now they're looking, trying to find that last cow in that group, and that's sometimes hard in a big group, trying to locate one. Oh, and they lucked out right there on the outside. How about that, Jeff?
You know, Jordan's the one in there doing the cutting, and pretty nice job. Now he's going to go to the alley and seal that off. All they have to do now, pin them, throw up their arms, and that'll stop the clock.
And this is good. They just take their time, push them right down into that corral. Oh, one turn back on them. Get it there. Get all 3 in and then run into that gate and raise their hand. Time stops.
Oh, a nice piece of work there. Cindy Free, Tristan McCormick, and Jordan Bird, and at the moment they have the lead in the team pinning competition. Now to Ryder Nelson, Rhett Nelson, and Neely Lynn Nelson. I think they might be related.
It looks like it. We'll see how the family does here. Again, he's doing a very nice job of taking his time and being quiet in that herd and pushing that cow out instead of just running through it. That extra cow there, they're going to roll it back while the other helper pushes that one up and tries to hold it up. Oop, watch out. There's a lot to it to hold them and keep them away from that herd. Cattle instinctively want to go back, and sure enough, it did.
Boy, and the early success that they had just kind of fades away as that calf blends back in with the herd.
Yeah, they're having a little trouble here with everything scattering around and trying to get them in there. Comes a point that you just eventually have to take and go with what you have.
30 seconds. I hear the buzzer sound, 30 seconds left. Well, they have 2 down there.
Looks like that's what they're going to take, Jeff. It's better to try and pin 1 or 2 and get a time than not have a time at all trying to get all 3 of yours out. The disadvantage to that, if anybody else pins 3, even though they may have a longer time, it's going to place higher than the 2 are.
The Nelson settled for 2, and that leaves Free, McCormick, and Bird still in the lead. And here comes Mackenzie Coit, Tori Roberts, and Taylor Watford.
7. Here's a young group of kids, some of your fellow Okies right here riding in.
I'll have to pull for them.
I knew you would. Stillwater runs thick through you Okie bloods, I tell you.
Well, the number is 7, so that's what they're looking for. What do you look for in a team pinning horse? Little cow?
Obviously have a little cow and then be quiet and have a lot of handle so you can get them turned around. As you see, you have to make those short, sharp turns. And so you want one that can handle itself real well, but yet stay quiet in there. They've cut 2 out real quick here. They're getting a good start.
Well, they're hoping that's lucky number 7 for them right there. All 3 are cut.
This could be a pretty quick time here if they get these right in there. Boy, they're curling right in.
Outstanding job. They were fast, but not quite fast enough to take the lead. Free, McCormick, and Bird still on top. Well, the number is going to be 3 for Morgan Field, Justin Lynch, and Whitney Lynch. You know, it's funny to watch team pinning. Sometimes everything just goes right. Sometimes everything just goes wrong.
Yeah, that's the fun part about it when you have 3 different riders and horses with a group of cattle this large trying to get all of that out. Luckily, these cattle are settled real well down at that end of the arena and are staying down there fairly well. Sometimes they'll get to breaking and coming up, and you really have to work at holding the herd there as well. But this group of cattle are cooperating, and it's making it a lot of fun for these kids to be able to get them out. And this young group has done an excellent job again.
Boy, they have. A little snag there. Some cows trying to come along across the line. A little bit late getting to the alley, and that kind of clogs things up right at the front of the pen. 30 seconds left. Now you see
look
the
out.
other two sneaking out.
Well, now it's a race to the pack. Oh, and they're going to lose. There's a nice turn there, but lost it on the roundabout.
And that is a tough break right there. They had all three of them right at the door, and they couldn't get them in.
Oh. Your heart's just pounding for those kids right there.
Well, that's disappointment as they settle for one. That shows you how quickly things can change in team pinning. Tristan McCormick, Kyle Rogers, Austin Ryan, our next team. You know, for a little cowboy, this is just his dream to be able to, you know, go full speed on your horse, jump in that herd, cut one or two out. Doesn't get any better than that.
This is really great for these young kids to be able to work together, and they go in there with a game plan where one person goes in and cuts and pushes out. Then, as you can see there, the next one rides in as they're pushing that one out and rotates in. So they practice this at home. They have a lot of fun with it, and get a little game plan of how it's going to work perfect for them. And of course, most of the time it doesn't work that way, but it's great fun for them. As you can see, good horses. They're all riding really nice horses here, and that's really helping them a lot. They've got three, and they're turning them around. Take your time getting them in that pen. Whoop. There we go.
Now the calmer heads prevail. Good run, but Free, McCormick, and Bird still have the lead. And what do you do when you're done team pinning? Get on the phone. Call Mom. Tell her how you did.
Hello, my name is Colin Luba. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm your AQHYA Youth President. Welcome to the Ford AQHYA World Championship Show.
Thank you, Colin, the newly elected AQHYA president. Now Morgan Field, Trent Field, and Whitney Lynch.
They luck right out and get one kicked out early. The next person rides in, they kick out another, and oh, they've had a little jailbreak there. They're scattered all over the place. They're going to have to regroup a little here, Jeff.
That'll get your heart rate up as they see all those cows heading toward the line. Safe, they get him turned around, still have one where they want him.
Here comes the second one. Oh, it's a little helter-skelter here.
Well, not off to the best of starts here, but a chance to kind of regroup, get their act back together. And boy, did they catch a break right there, Pete.
Well, they really did. That other eighth cow came right out, and they wind up with all three of them.
Well, here's where teams have had trouble, but they don't. Solid time, but not good enough to take the lead. Free, McCormick, and Bird are still on top. Now to Jordan Lesh, Ashton Rainey, Reese Stanfield. Our three final teams, and two of these three final teams did very well in the prelims. This is one of them.
And you can see why. They went right in, found that 9, peeled it right out, doing a good job holding the team. 2 cut quick. That's fast right there. We'll see what happens here. If they can get all three, they're going to jump right up to the top. There it is.
Well, the Lesh brothers have dominated team pinning, and Jordan Lesh, the only youth exhibitor left, trying to carry on the tradition for his brothers.
You can see the experience working for this little older team right here. And sure enough,
that was smooth, and with that, we have a change at the top of the leaderboard. Lesh, Rainey, and Stanfield, now the team to beat. Here comes Daniel Gemmel, Kyle Rogers, and Austin Ryan.
Austin, he also is on 2 teams here as they get to show on a couple of teams if they want to, and Austin's taken advantage of that and made the finals on 2 teams. As you can see, horsepower is important. See how quick those horses are turning and stopping and holding those cattle? That's a big part of it right there.
With that last time, you want to spend most of your time on the offense, not the defense, because that's just going to cost you. You see this team back on the defensive.
Trying to hold that 4 cow. They've got it if they can keep it out. There we go. Now it's a rush to the other end.
Nice piece of cowboy work there.
You see that off-rider go over there so they can't come down that chute. Bring them around the top.
Well, that run was manual labor, but the good side of it is they're going to be in third place at the moment with just one team left to work. Lesh, Rainey, and Stanfield still have the lead and all dressed in yellow. Here comes Charles Richardson, Caleb Earls, and Sydney Free. And keep in mind, Sydney's also on the team that right now is sitting in second place.
They're color coordinated there. They're all from the South, Louisiana and Mississippi, so this is a good team. That's one thing about it. These kids get together and form a good team, and not necessarily all from their home state either.
They were good in the prelims, and they got a pretty good run started now.
They had 3 pinned as well, and so they're going to push the first place team right here, and by gosh, they're going to really push them.
Have to do a little cleanup work right there, and that's going to cost them some time. And here we go. Can they get them all in there smooth? Absolutely, and it stops the clock. Second best when it is all said and done. Boy, 2 great runs from this team, but not good enough to catch Lesh, Rainey, and Stanfield. How about Sydney Free? She winds up in second place and in third place. Great showing for her, and another AQHYA World Championship for one of the Lesh brothers. When we come back, get the cattle ready, the second half of the working cow horse competition.
America's Horse has been brought to you by Bear Corporation, makers of quality animal health products. FedEx, you can always rely on the ultimate in reliable shipping. Relax, it's FedEx, Professional's Choice, the official provider of sports medicine products. And by Bank of America, the official credit card of AQHA.
Welcome back to Fort Worth, the Ford AQHYA World Championship Show. We've seen the reining part of the working cow horse competition. Now let's bring in the cow. Dots Classy Peppy, ridden here by Kelsey Irby. 210.5 in reining, Pete. She's going to have to make up a little bit of that right here with the fence work.
And this is really the fun part of the cow horse here, where they get to work cattle and go down the fence. And this will make or break you right here, these cattle will, on this class and stuff. You can jump way up and you can go way down. And like you said on her, Kelsey's going to have to step up a little bit to get that higher place. And she was a little conservative on this young mare in the reining part. Doing a good job of just boxing the cow right there and holding it at the end of the arena and showing control of it. Face to face, right up there together. She's really close, which really shows control. Now she's going to take it down the fence, rating it a little bit. She's got to wait till she gets halfway past the middle right there and turn it. Got a nice cow here, real quiet, real slow. Gives you a good chance to shape it up. Get that second turn. You get one turn each direction, and then go out to the middle of the arena just like that and circle it once each direction there. And Kelsey's doing a really good job here, and this is just what she needed.
Well, we mentioned the 210.5 in the rein work, add 216 in the cow work. Her total 426.5, and that's what everybody's going to be shooting at now.
As you see, she comes right down there and gets right in front and get a nice turn on that cow.
Samantha Estel, she had a 212 in the reined work. Just Plain Doing It is the horse. This is a gelding by Just Plain Colonel. What kind of read can you get from your cow the second they come in from that gate?
Well, that's it. You kind of look at your cow and see what they are. As the first one you saw was real quiet, and this one looks a little bigger, a little more beefier cow. So you think it's going to have maybe a little more go, but it's being very quiet. So she needs to keep stepping on up and challenge this cow a little more than she is. Like Kelsey, you saw her get right up there and get control of that cow. And Samantha here is not quite pushing it and challenging that cow quite as much as she needs to here. And sometimes what that does is that cow will take control of you when you go down the fence then. Her horse has got a lot of cow and moving real well on it. She's just not making that cow do anything at the end. She's going to go ahead here, looks like, get ready to shape it up and head it down the fence.
Just having a hard time getting that cow away from the end gate. The judges are going to take note of that.
Yeah, needs to get behind it a little more and just push it down. Once it gets rolling, it'll go. There it goes. Now try and catch up. Good big turn right there. Had a lot of speed. Got back over. Shape it back up over towards the other fence there. A nice turn out in the field, and now going to try and circle around. She's a little far away from the cow on the circle, and that end work really made a big difference in her there. That's going to hurt her score some. And again, she's way far away from the cow, Jeff, not up close to it, showing control of that cow in the circles. So that's going to hurt her score here.
Well, the name of the game is control. She was good in the reined work, 212. Struggles a little bit here on the fence, and her score coming in now, and it's just going to be 203. Her total 415. So Kelsey Irby and Dots Classy Peppy still in the lead.
As you can see, though, she gets a real nice turn, comes right down here. They're going very fast and slides real deep and gets around there. Slides almost a little bit past the cow.
Well, the girls have dominated. The only boy in the top 5 is Carter Metcalf, and Harley's My Chick. Coming in off a 212.5 in the reined work.
I look for Carter to do real well here. He also competes in some cutting classes, so he reads cattle really well. And you can see he's stepping right up and challenging this cow right off the bat just a little bit. And this cow's coming right back at him some as well. Now he's got to hustle across there and get it stopped and show control. Carter's doing a good job. Controlled it, pushed it back up there. Now steps right back up to it again. This cow is not as an easy cow, but Carter showed control of it. Going down that fence for that first turn. Real good. See how close he was, that cow. Even though that cow slipped out behind him, he was still in really good shape. He's going to just loop it around now and go back up for that right-hand turn. Lining it out. Good tight turn again, and now setting up for the circles.
Carter won the NRC AHA Youth Bridal Finals in 2005. His experience really shows through.
And that was a really good cow work right there, Jeff.
212.5 in the reined work, and we're going to add 218 for the cow work here, and the total 430.5. And we have a new leader in Carter Metcalf and Harley's My Chick. Well, a good showing for the boys. The only boy in the top 5, and at the moment he's got the lead.
As you can see, that cow was pushing him a lot at the end, and then he lines it out and goes down real hard and gets in real close there, shapes it up, gets a good turn.
Kylie Knight had the lead after the reined work, 218.5. She dominated the prelims, but you know, when you introduce the cow as a variable, anything can happen. So she's got to be a little bit white-knuckled here as she gets ready for this final go.
Carter's put a little pressure on her with that good cow work. She's going to have a nice cow work to keep right up there at the top with him. And this horse is really capable. This is his strong suit of the whole thing, is he really works the cow real well, as you can see. Look at him. Get down to that ground, use his hind end really well, and real quick with his front feet.
His nickname is Leroy. She probably packed her bags for school when she came to Fort Worth. Headed to TCU, not too far away from the Will Rogers Coliseum, and here she goes down the fence.
Shaped up real good with that cow going down, but got a little too close in there and didn't get past that head, so she just got a nice turn there. Going to loop it around, take it back down the fence the other direction. Very nice right turn. Cow tripped and stumbled there. Which allows it time to get up and go back into the circles.
Well, she didn't miss a beat.
That's where that experience come back in. Doesn't rattle her at all, and she circles really tight right there. See how close she is to that cow both directions. That's credit earning.
She was the AQHYA World Champion in this event in 2005. 6th place last year, and she is back on top. 218.5 in the reined work, 218 in the cow work. New leader, 436.5.
As you see, she's going down right here and just gets up there a little close trying to turn there. Didn't get past the head to start with, then gets by it, and you can see the cow turn out.
Our final exhibitor, Kelsey Irby, back, this time with Smokescreen Image, a horse that she got from her sister. And this is a mare by the Smart Smoke, 214.5 in the reined work for her. A world championship very much within her reach.
Yeah, she's going to really have to step up and do a good job on this cow to get up there with Carter and Kylie, and if anybody's capable, it's Kelsey.
Needs a 222.5 to win the world championship.
And that's a lot. That's a huge work to be able to try and mark something that big. As we've seen a couple of 18s and had good works, and that's a huge mark. But she hopefully can get a good work and place up there high. Did a real nice job of boxing her cow and started right down the fence with her cow in good shape. Oh, and a huge turn right there. Very, very nice. Gets right back up on that cow, shows control of it. Another good turn. I tell you what, Jeff, if she can get circled up good, she's going to push her. She lost a little control there in that circle, but got back up there to it and finished out with a good circle.
Yeah, she was conservative in her reining runs, but wow, is she a lot more comfortable on the fence. Very aggressive. Wasn't good enough for Smokescreen Image and Kelsey Kirby. The 214.5 in the reined work, needs a 222.5 to get the win. Very close, 221.5 by a half point. She's going to finish as the reserve world champion.
Doesn't get any better than this turn right here, Jeff. Look at her have control of that cow, get right in there and turn that cow right back up the fence.
Well, it was a photo finish as Kylie Knight and Reminick Moonshine survived that strong fence work from Kelsey Irby and Smokescreen Image, just a half point separating the world champion and the reserve world champion. Harley's My Chick and Carter Metcalf finished third. Let's talk with Kylie Knight, who's now a two-time AQHYA world champion.
Well, the first one, it's always pretty special just because it's the first time, you aim for that your entire life and then it happens, but there's a lot of pressure coming back after you've won it before and coming back and having pressure on yourself about doing good, and so it feels good to do it again and to be a two-time world champion. So it feels good.
Next week, more action from the Ford AQHYA World Championship Show. For Pete Kyle, I'm Jeff Metters. So long from Fort Worth, Texas.